So tell us, who is Mr. Rodenbeck?
Mr. Rodenbeck is a 8th grade social studies teacher, and is my 8th grade social studies teacher. He's a pretty good one in my opinion too.
Okay. Well, what is it that you like about Mr. Rodenbeck?
Well, I like that he's an old school guy. He definitely asserts that he needs respect, and he likes effort all the time. And I like that about him a lot. And he definitely pushes you and cares about your future. So I like that a lot about him also.
You know, it's always important as a teacher that we're trying to instill things in our students. So tell me what it is that Mr. Rodenbeck does that motivates you to become a better you.
Well, he definitely makes it known that we need to work hard, and he likes to scare us a little bit too to get us in the mood. But that's one of the other things I like about him. He motivates me to think about more what I'm doing now for the future, more what I need to do now in order to get to where I want to be in the future. So that's one of the things he does to more motivate me, is to think, well, what I do now affects the future. So he motivates me a lot in that way.
Very good. So what would you like to thank Mr. Rodenbeck for?
I'd like to thank him for being a cool guy.
A cool guy.
Yep, just a cool guy.
Excellent.
Yep.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yep.
All right, here with Claire to talk about one of her favorite teachers. Claire, who is it that you're going to talk to us about today?
I'm going to be talking about Mr. Husband.
Mr. Husband, all right. What is it that you like about Mr. Husband?
I like how in his class we always do projects in his class, like on class time. So whenever we have a question, you never feel like rushed or anything to do it. When you have a question, he always like walks you through it. He never like puts you down.
Cool. Okay. How does he inspire you to become a better you?
He inspires me to become a better me because when we're doing projects, whether it's like character animator, After Effects, stuff like that, he always helps me express my creativity through those projects, which I really like.
Cool. I like that. All right, so what would you like to thank him for?
I would like to thank Mr. Husband for being one of my favorite teachers for all 3 years that I was here, even though I never had him in 6th grade. I just saw him in the hallway, thought he was a pretty cool guy.
Awesome, thank you. Hey Chase.
Hi.
How are you?
Pretty good, how are you?
All right. We're going to talk about a teacher that means a lot to you. Okay. Can you tell me who Mr. Wright is to you?
Mr. Wright is my second period language arts teacher.
Awesome. Okay. What do you like about Mr. Wright? What is it about him?
He always takes time out of his day to talk to me, to inspire me, to just give me advice. I walk in his classroom, he always has a smile on his face. He always is just greeting us with a happy, I don't know.
Demeanor or?
Yeah, happy demeanor.
Mm-hmm. Good. Okay. How does Mr. Wright, you mentioned that he kind of inspires you. How does he do that? How does he motivate or inspire you?
So he always pushes me to do my best. Sometimes his class is hard, but he pushed me to do my best, so and I get it done eventually. Like I said, he always has a smile on his face. I can talk to him about anything. He just gives me a lot of advice on whether it's academically, athletic, or just out of school.
Cool. All right. So what would you like to thank your teacher for? You've talked about him inspiring you, making you work hard. In general, what would you like to thank him for?
I'd like to thank him for being there for me, always talking to me whenever I need it, always being there for me, talking to me about golf
Uh-huh.
giving me advice, and just being there for me, like I said.
Awesome. Cool.
Thank you.
So, who is Mrs. Kennedy to you?
Mrs. Kennedy is my 6th period language arts teacher, and she's been my language arts teacher for my 7th and 8th grade years. I'm not ashamed to say it, she is my favorite teacher, and she has been since I've met her.
Okay.
So,
All right. So, what do you like about Mrs. Kennedy, and what are the things that she does in her class that makes you enjoy her
I like-
class and say that that's my favorite class?
I like that she's fun, and she's not really uptight, but you know that she wants us to get the work done and she wants us to do good, and she's funny, and her class is always fun, and she's really nice, and she's a really good teacher in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. So, what would you like to thank Mrs. Kennedy for?
I would like to thank her for being always there. She's always there. She's always cared for us, and she's like a good teacher. She teaches well. She has. I like the style of her teaching, and I like that she doesn't have like a teaching mood. She's always the same happy and joyful person.
Very good. Thank you. So good morning. Who is Mr. Abbott?
Mr. Abbott is my 1st period math teacher.
First period math. What does Mr. Abbott, what do you like about Mr. Abbott?
I like Mr. Abbott because he's a good teacher, he inspires me to do my best, and he always helps me out.
Helps you out. Okay. Does Mr. Abbott motivate you? And if he does, how does he inspire you to become a better you?
Mr. Abbott does motivate me in class. I'll seem frustrated and I don't seem okay while I'm working, and he'll come up to me, let me know that it's okay, it's just a math class, and I'll end up figuring it out. He helps me with problems I might not understand, and I always get it right in the end.
All right. Always get it right. That's pretty special. All right. So, what would you like to thank Mr. Abbott for?
I'd like to thank Mr. Abbott for always checking up on me and helping me when I need it. He's a good teacher, and he just watches out for all of his students. If he notices someone isn't doing the best, he always comes up to them and just asks what's going on, asks if they're okay, takes them out the hallway, and just talks to them.
Very good. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
All right, here with Ireland to talk about one of her favorite teachers, Mrs. Jacobs. Who is Mrs. Jacobs for you?
She is my 7th period science teacher.
7th period science, okay. And what is it that you like about Mrs. Jacobs?
I really like how caring she is to her students. Like, even if they're not good students or not good people to her, like last year she talked to me, not last year, she didn't talk to me last year, but she talked to me this year about how last year her students were like just mean to her.
Mm-hmm.
But she always showed them that she still cared. Like,
Wow.
she didn't just let them give up, or like if they're having a hard time in class, she encourages them to do what they can, and I just love how caring she is
Wow.
to everyone.
Yeah, that's really telling. I mean, you talk a little bit about her caring about everybody. How does she maybe motivate you or inspire you to be a better Ireland?
Well, before projects, I get like a little nervous, and she noticed that, and so she pulled me to like the side and just like gave me advice on like how to get through this presentation, like, and she's always so nice. I always see her smiling. Doesn't matter what mood she's in. She's always happy. She always just like, she always gives everybody time to finish anything that they need to, and it's just, she just cares.
Awesome. What would you like to thank her for?
I'd like to thank her for being so motivational. She always shows us motivational speeches in class, like videos. We've had little mini lessons on like good characteristics, like honesty and integrity. She really likes talking about integrity.
Yeah.
And I admire that a lot because a lot of teachers just kind of ignore it almost, but she always wants to make sure that the people she's teaching are good people and not just there because of the classwork.
Oh my gosh, that is so great to hear, and I'm gonna say I agree with all of that. I love Mrs. Jacobs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Lamaya.
Hi.
Here to talk about a favorite teacher. Can you tell me who Mrs. Miller is?
Miss Miller is my third period science teacher.
Third period science. All right. What is it that you like about Mrs. Miller? Or Miss Miller?
I like how Miss Miller, she's always there for all of her students, whether it's academically or not. And she's always pushing us, but she does it in a way that all the kids understand so they don't feel like they're being, like, I don't know, like she's being aggressive. So
Okay.
she puts her kids in a nicely manner.
Good. Okay. Does she motivate you or inspire you in some way?
Yes. She always helps me, like, whether, like, if she calls on me and I say something wrong, she doesn't like get mad at me. She helps me through it and she tells me what I did wrong and why I did it wrong. And I appreciate her for that because I've came a long way just because of that.
Awesome. Okay. Okay, so last question. You say some of these nice things about her. What is it that you would like to thank her for?
I would like to thank Ms. Miller for being her and just being the happy person she is and motivating all of her students.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. I'm here with Bree to talk about one of her favorite teachers. Bree, who is Mrs. Landrum for you?
Well, Mrs. Landrum is my homeroom teacher for the past 3 years at Riverview, and 2 years.
2 years, okay.
2 years, and she's my PCC and computer apps teacher.
Wow. All right. You got pretty lucky then if you
Yeah.
like her. So what is it that you like about her?
I like the standard that like she holds almost all of her kids to. It's a pretty high one, but it's not unreachable. It forces us to push ourselves to what may feel like the limit, but it's definitely not.
Good. Awesome. So tell me how she might like inspire or motivate you to become a better you.
She inspires me by the fact that like she can admit when like she doesn't know how to do something or like that she's wrong. Like with Photoshop, like
Yeah.
very difficult thing to navigate through, and she's very like forthcoming about like how like she can't do it all, and like if any of us know things that we can help her. Like
Yeah.
she's on our level almost with like what she knows. Like she's not like
Yeah.
superior to us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
cool.
like that.
So you're kind of all learning together?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like that
that's
better.
really cool. So how would you like to, or what would you like to say thank you for?
I would like to say thank you for, well, first of all, for being a good homeroom teacher, because there are some of my friends who don't like their homeroom teacher, but personally I think she's a pretty good one. And she makes this place very nice to come to. She's very happy, she's happy, and she makes jokes in the front of her classroom. She makes a very fun environment to learn in.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, here with Riley to talk about Mrs. Hippensteel. Riley, who is Mrs. Hippensteel for you?
Miss Vincio is my 5th period pre-algebra teacher.
5th period, okay. And what is it that you like about Miss Hippensteel?
What I like about Miss Vincio is she's always there for us no matter what's happening in class. I mean, I know we're a little annoying, but she always is like patient with us and never gets too like
Good.
mad at us, and she's always there if we need her.
Awesome. How does she maybe motivate you or inspire you to be a better you?
She inspires me for me to be a better you by always encouraging me to get my assignments turned in and always encouraging me to do better things.
Good. I like the encouragement part. What would you like to thank her for?
I would like to thank her for always showing that she cares about us and always helping us in anything we ever need help with.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, I'm here with Kayla to talk about one of her favorite teachers. Kayla, who is Miss Beery?
Miss Fury is my 5th period Spanish teacher.
Okay, 5th period Spanish. All right, and what is it that you like about her?
I like how she takes time out of her day to make us feel special, and she's really patient with us. And whenever we're entering our classroom, she's always like really kind, and she greets us with a saying at the door.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
How does she kind of inspire or motivate you to be a better you?
Mrs. Berry challenges me to work hard. She pushes us when we're struggling, and she makes sure that we're doing good. And if we don't do good on an assignment, she'll allow us time to retake it or get a better score because she understands that sometimes it's not the easiest thing.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. She sounds really, really good.
Yeah.
So what would you like, how would you like to say thank you, or what would you like to say thank you for?
I would like to say thank you for just being there for all of us for the past like 3 years, and we're gonna miss you.
Oh, I will miss her too. All right, I'm here with Ashley to talk about one of her favorite teachers. Who is Mr. Allred for you?
Mr. Allred is my 6th period social studies teacher.
All right, 6th period social studies, and why do you like him?
Because he's just someone in the building that I feel like I can trust, and I talk to him a lot about my issues and like just all that. He's just a very good listener.
Awesome. How does he either inspire or motivate you?
I think it's because he pushes us a lot, and I like that when teachers do that, especially like if we're doing something wrong, he just gives us more work, and I think that's a decent way to like do it.
Awesome. And what would you like to thank him for?
I would like to thank him for like actually like listening and being like a person I feel like I can trust and like talk to.
Cool. Sounds like a good guy.